Today is Ozone Day. We'll be talking about the ozone layer, the layer that keeps us all alive.
So, for those of you who don't know what the ozone layer is, it's simply a huge layer of gas that's found in the stratosphere. It's located 15 kilometers above sea level. So, you might ask, what is ozone? Ozone is basically a gas that's made up of tri-oxygen molecules that are made up of 3 oxygen atoms. Another question would be, what does the ozone layer actually do? So in simple words, the ozone layer allows life to exist on Earth by regulating the temperature of the planet and preventing lethal radiation such as UV radiation. But this very precious layer was at one point near extinction and destruction.
That's a good point, AB. That's why I'm with our scientist, Wajd to answer these questions. Now, Wajd, what caused the destruction of the ozone layer?
Well, there were many substances that were being used at that time, such as in the 1930s to the 1970s, and these substances were known as ozone-depleting substances. These include things like HCFCs, CFCs, and HFCs, which are all a class of ozone-depleting substances that have chlorine in them. The chlorine helps rip apart the tri-oxygen structure of the ozone molecule.
Okay, so can you give me some examples of how they were used back in the day?
Yes, these were very popular in things like fridges, like the ones behind me, as well as hairsprays, like in women's salons.
Now, can you please tell us why do we actually celebrate Ozone Day?
Well, on September 16th, 1987, the Montreal Protocol was signed by a bunch of governments from around the world to help reduce the uses of ozone-depleting substances and phase them out. Nowadays, the ozone layer is still recovering from the devastating impacts that it had back in the 1900s, and now it's recovering.
There aren't many things that we can do as individuals, since the problem mainly lies with the governments having to ban these ozone-depleting substances. But there are some things we can do. These things aren't necessarily just to help the ozone layer, but also for the environment as a whole. For example, whenever we have a AC or a refrigerator that isn't working properly, we should consider sending it to a repair shop so that we can minimize the leakage of the CFCs into the atmosphere. We can also minimize the use of cars. If we sit and carpool together instead of each buying our own car, not only is it cheaper for us as people, but it's better for the environment. We can also avoid using cleaning products which aren't organic in nature, such as vinegar, or for example some soft chemicals or not too harmful chemicals such as bicarbonate and baking soda and stuff like that. Anyways, the main point of this is study that you can do something as an individual. Maybe nothing too big, but it's helpful for the environment as a whole.
Thank you so much for explaining.
And this is why you, as students, should be aware of the layer that protects all life from Earth. I hope you all learned something from this video, and I'll see y'all later. From the cast, from the crew.